Okay. All right, we are on the screen. If Hell yeah. Oh, a regular intro? Well, okay. Welcome back to Omniversal Escapades. I'm your homeboy Jeff, and with me also is I'm doing a sound test over here. You can definitely hear my voice. I was thinking of bringing it down a little. Okay. Let's do this again. Welcome back to Omniversal Escapades. I'm your guy, Jeff, and with me, of course, is Dean and Az over there. What's up, Az? So we've already made characters, so we can skip that bit. We're playing Fallout RPG. It's an RPG based on the hit video game series on Xbox, Fallout. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Totally. It's a Bethesda game. It's a first-person RPG shooter thing. Cool. Please. Yes. Why? Oh, I think I know why. Fuck. Sorry, everybody. That's fucked up. Let's rewind. Dean, say everything that you just said.
Okay.
Sorry about that. My 3 hosts thing, I had the mic off for some reason. So let me make sure it's getting the right audio. This is what I want.
All right. Okay. Taryn can hear us. Great. Fantastic.
Yay.
Hell yeah.
So, okay. What I was saying, in like a little fun fact is that this game from back when it was first developed back in the 90s was actually meant to be a GURPS game or a generic universal role-playing system, an old TTRPG. But they couldn't get the rights to it, so they had to build their own like system, and that's what they're using now for the games, the special system.
You're telling me this game's been around since the 90s?
1995 was the
Wow.
first Fallout game. Yeah, it is. Actually, it might have been 96. I'm really bad with like the exact years, but it's a nearly 30-year-old franchise. But after the game Fallout Tactics, it kind of went into like hibernation until Bethesda bought it, and then released Fallout 3, New Vegas 4, and 76. And while it was made by another company previously, a lot of the lore that's been established now has actually been established by Bethesda, building off of what Interplay did back in the 90s.
I did not know that.
So this will become obvious as we start, but for people who've never played the game, who don't know what it's about, it's in the far future, like 300 years or something, 200 years.
Yep.
And it's after a terrible war. So it's sort of been a lawless wasteland, and it's slowly returning to some kind of civilization. And there's all these wild characters. Like, for example, we're going to have a giant and a floating robot today. But there's also humans and ghouls who are basically just immortal humans with ugly faces. I don't know if there's anything different about them.
They're mutants basically. They were hit by fallout radiation, and instead of like dying like any person you think would, they basically mutate to the point where their skin unfortunately does fall off. It does cause bad scarring. Can cause them to go feral. Also, it extends their lifespan, and they're healed by radiation.
Cool. So, lines and veils. I was going to say normally one of my lines is slavery, but a big part of Fallout is like people being captured and made to do stuff. So I figure I'll go to veils on that. Like we'll mention that they're stuck there and they're kind of doing a thing, but we won't get into the
That's
The
fine.
icky
Nitty-gritty.
nitty gritty.
Mhm.
In fairness, slavery is not usually a selling point. It's more like there are people who do slavery in the series there, and they're
Right.
always bad people.
Always, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, of course they would be.
Right.
Hopefully they would be.
Uh,
Unless you're playing a Confederacy video game, in which case, don't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why would you? I don't know that game would be fun.
Mm-mm.
Well,
Mm-mm.
I would like to point out, and this is not related to Confederacy, but there's a whole video game series about you. We're on Twitch, and I don't want to get banned. Unaliving Nazis. Wait, that might have got me through that.
Well,
Oh,
that's a good
Yeah.
thing. I'll
yeah.
say.
Well, it's the Wolfenstein series. They're the bad
Wolfenstein,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, certain bad guys, you can really give it to them with both barrels. Do you have the rest of our lines and veils handy?
Yeah. Let me pull it back up. Real quick, I do want to give a quick shout out to Taryn in our chat. Taryn did follow us about 5 minutes ago. I do appreciate excuse me. I don't know why I was in solo streamer mode. We would like to thank Taryn for following us on Twitch.
Thanks,
We're
Darren.
gonna go and pull up the lines and veils real quick. How's everyone's week been? How's your week been?
You know.
My vacation is coming to an end. I have to go to work tomorrow.
Boo.
My vacation's coming up this coming weekend.
Hell
Nice.
yeah. So yeah, my last 2 weeks have been really great and relaxing. Having a donut a day, just living the high life. Maybe 2 baths in a single day.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Pretty wild over here.
Real quick, our X's, meaning we do not bring to the campaign our children apparel depictions of gore, and our veils, which means we just allude to or fade to black, our body horror feces, and then specific for this one, slavery. We only kind of allude to it. We don't really bring it up. That's not a key feature of the campaign, basically.
Yeah, so okay. How should I start?
Also, Taryn said 2-week vacation. Lucky. You are a union, if I'm not correct, right?
Yes, I'm very
Yeah.
lucky to have a union with the letter carriers. So because of my seniority, I get 5 weeks a year.
There you go.
I did
Oh,
not
yeah.
know that was what you did.
I've been working
Yeah.
at my place since since December of last year, and I found out I only have 10 hours of vacation. So, yeah.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
I've been at my job for probably like 3 months. So
Well, good luck. May leave fall from the heavens into your lap.
we are a union company. So
Oh,
Huh.
yeah. You should do all right. So tell me about your characters just a little bit, just the basics, and then we'll learn more as we go.
Okay.
Ian, I'll let you go first.
Okie doke. I have a little
'Cause
written.
mine kind of feeds off of you.
Right. All right. So, the character I am playing today, his name is Nigel Hemsworth, aka Thrag. Thrag was actually, excuse me. Thrag was actually a pre-war scientist back in 2077. He was working for the West Tech Company, and what is now known in the game series as the Glow. Before it was the Glow. When the bombs fell, he was exposed to the FEV virus and mutated into what people now call super mutants. He has maintained most of his intelligence, luckily, but as a commutation, he has lost some, unfortunately. His current main goal, for the last 200 years, is to find a way to demutate himself back into a human. Also, real quick, sorry, Jen's Void followed us on Twitch. Thank
Hi,
you,
Jen.
Was
Hi, Jen. Thank you
That's
for
my
the follow.
that's
Jen.
my niece.
That's hold on.
Hey, niece.
That's my
Shout out.
my Jeff. That's my, if you look, niece.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Jen. Shout out to Jen, and I'll do one for Taryn here in a bit because I'm not used to running the moderation on Twitch yet. So, sorry, Taryn. I'll get you in a moment. But yeah, thank you for the follow and being in the audience, Jen.
Thank you for the follow.
I see what you did there, Az.
That's just a taste of the kind of magic you're going to get this week. Az, tell them about Mr. Stanky.
Oh yeah, so Mr. Stinky is a Mr. Handy robot. If you're familiar with the Fallout series, you'll know what a Mr. Handy is. It's a floating robot that has 3 little attachments on it, and they are designed to basically be little helpers around the house. Mr. Stinky was Dean's character's personal Mr. Handy, whom he experimented on to try and help him with other scientific things, but he accidentally fried my circuits and ended up having to replace my voice box as well as a few other things. So he sounds like an old-timey prospector, and let's just say is a few screws loose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put his head in front of Az's head so you can see what it looks like.
Yeah.
It floats.
Also, yeah, that's what he looks like. Also, I should say he does have a funny little hat.
Yes. Like
Uh-huh.
a fedora?
No, like a bowler cap. That's what I'm thinking.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like a bowler.
Also, I should say that if you've listened to this show before, Mr. Stinky is this universe's version of Stinky Pete.
We're nothing if not consistent in this series.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll do a little flavor text, and then we're gonna do a couple 0 difficulty challenges.
Okay.
Those are basically opportunities to earn some action points, which lets you go faster in a round or roll extra dice, that kind of thing.
Okay.
There's a similar mechanic on the video game Actual, which is fun, that they have found a system that can approximate that. Okay, here we go. You're rolling across the hilly terrain south of Wenatchee, Washington, on your way to the Yakima Protection Zone. Gnarled trees dot the landscape, with the blasted remains of wind turbines poking up here and there. Mutated birds swirl over carcasses and occasionally charge the closest window, pulling back just before hitting the glass, opening their long beaks and waggling their diseased tongues. As you travel into the heart of enemy territory, you think back to your meeting with the head of the Scavengers Alliance, the thin, hawk-nosed figure of Ambrose Stackworth III. As he describes your path into the enemy compound, we see a montage of your movements. All right. After losing my best long-range team last month, I need a pair of scavengers with the grit and firepower to take on our hated enemy, the vile Baroness McCall. You will enter the zone here. He pokes the map with a swagger stick at a creek that abuts a fence. He points at a black box on a nearby table. That device will enable you to slip under the detection line. From there, you'll head across the zone to this town, Sunny Slope Ridge. There is a junkyard there and a warehouse. Inside is the secret of the zone's strength and power. You will find out what's inside, rescue my team if possible, and return before being obliterated by the Baroness's minions. I've arranged a diversion on the northern edge of the zone, which should make your job easier. Good luck and good hunting. So now you're standing or floating on the edge of Wilt's Creek, just 100 yards from the western fence of the zone. So here we can do tasks, or we could say you did them on the train or before you got on the train. But like, we'll have a little montage of your tasks. Who would like to go first?
Go ahead, Ez.
Dean, you go first. To show me how it's done.
Okay, so Jeff, I'm sure will explain it better, but basically you can roll to get momentum dice, and when you get momentum dice, as a party, you can use them to basically get additional rolls for
Yes.
certain abilities.
So
Okay.
you can have up to 6 at any one time. A 0 difficulty task like we're going to do here is basically an opportunity to earn extra momentum, or in this version of the game, action points.
Okay.
So you'll say, for example, if you were going to do something at the culvert by the stream, you might be like, I want to investigate the area and make sure there's no cameras or something, and we'd roll like a perception type thing. And it works with an attribute and a discipline, I
Okay.
think is what they call them in this game. At least that's what they call them in Star Trek.
So,
But
okay
I'll
then.
pair them together.
May I try something and then you tell me if I'm on the right track?
Please.
All right. So we're at the perimeter. Is there any kind of like fence or anything that we have to get by?
So the stream goes through a culvert, and then like another 10, 20 feet, there's the outer fence. And the
Okay.
culvert, from your little map you gathered, goes, it's big enough for you to crawl through and come
Crawl
out on the other
through.
side.
Okay, cool.
Is it big enough for me to go? For people who may not know, super mutants are like 9, 10 feet tall.
Right. Yeah, I designed it specifically for a super mutant.
Okay.
Is the culvert dry enough that a Mr. Handy could make it through?
That's a good question. Why don't you
Oh,
give me
okay.
this will be a research the area roll.
All right. So what am I rolling?
I've got to get back to the page that shows me all the disciplines and things. No.
As soon as my search functions, I may have a question.
This is all mechanics. I'm trying to get to... I've got to get past combat first, I guess.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
So
Well-
you've got strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. So this will be a... boing. This will be a perception.
Okay.
And the skill that will be relevant is survival.
Okay. So I have 6 perception and 1 survival. So what does that mean? What do I have to roll?
Do you roll and then add it to those numbers? Is that how that works?
What you do is you take the two numbers. So in this case, like my survival is 3 and my perception is 5. So you total 8, you roll 2d20, and you want to roll below that number. In my
Okay.
case, it'd be
Okay.
8.
So my
You're going to
perception
roll under
is 6.
7.
Okay. So I'm rolling 2 d20s.
And I would give you more details, but my copy of the book is apparently frozen. So
Oh, I just dropped my computer mouse on the table.
Oh, and are there focuses? Oh, tag skills. You should have 3 tag skills.
I do
Yeah.
have 3 tag skills. Yeah.
Is one of those survival?
No.
Okay.
the tag just gives you a bonus to that character creation because that represents like your pre-series, like what you were doing pre-series, that kind of thing.
Yeah. All right. So any other game, this would have been a great roll. I did just roll a 20, but I also rolled a 4. So
Okay, so you've got 1 AP so far. And you also have a complication. Now, the way this works is I can give you the complication now. It's like a 2 or 3 word phrase that describes what got worse. I may tell you, or I may keep it to myself if it's like for example, if the enemy saw you on a camera, I wouldn't tell you that. Or
Okay.
I could, instead of making a complication, I could add to threat, which is basically like anti-AP. So I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like his version of our momentum.
Cool.
Right. Whatever it's called in this game.
Mhm.
So, and I need to explain what this looks like. So the stream is very low. It hasn't rained down here in a few days, so it's pretty dry in the culvert. So you think you'll be fine under there.
Okay.
Unless a flash flood happens or they dump a bunch of water down the other side, that's probably not going to happen.
I don't like the way that you said that, but okay.
Yeah.
Dean, it's your turn.
It's your turn. And if your thing happened earlier, that's fine. Or we're smart enough to flip them in our heads.
I'm also gonna do survival if I can to basically see if there's any local wildlife that might be an issue, at least in the general perimeter. So I like to do
Perfect.
survival for that.
So this would have been as you're going down the train, you're like looking for signs of things as you got closer to your destination.
Right, like mutant hounds or super mutant hounds or giant flying. And I don't know what giant flying things exist in Washington in the post-war. That's up to you.
Mm-hmm. It's a
Oh,
purple people eater.
there you go.
Uh-oh.
I did not roll well. I rolled.
Oh, I didn't tell you what stats to use. It'd be survival and I think it should be intelligence because you're sort of collating the data in your head
So
as you go.
on the character sheet there, they'll have if you look at it, it says like the name of the skill, and then next to it is like STRCHA. That's the corresponding stat to go with it. So
Oh, okay. What's it
yes,
say? Does it say perception?
it says endurance.
Endurance.
Yeah.
That's
But yeah, I
weird.
mean, at the end of the day, you're the GM, so you can, alter or change how you feel like.
Yeah, I think it should be perception.
Okay. I'm gonna re-roll then because I was not aiming for that. And I rolled. In any other game, this would be a pretty good roll. At 18 plus 15, that would be like a 33. That is not a good roll for this though.
Okay, you did not cause a complication, but basically you noticed that you didn't see any sign of feral ghouls, which are like those ghouls we mentioned earlier that like have lost their mind. There should be more of them out here. There's usually sign around this area. And surprisingly, it seemed like there was less vegetation, but not any sign of animals that might have eaten it. So no deer sign or any of those other things.
Okay. Well, Mr. Stanky, I believe it is safe for us to proceed. Do you believe it'd be best to make any other precautions on our way in?
Well, shit, I don't know. What kind of place are we getting into? I wasn't really paying attention back at the table.
Well, to retrieve this. Oh, I'm so bad with names. On this mutation. We're to retrieve a lost comrades in arms, if you will. We're to retrieve them and find out what this local warlord or what have you has procured to give them some kind of advantage in this socio ecological tomfoolery.
Well, we should see if this warlord's got any like traps set up or nothing.
That's a very good point, Mr. Steak. I do believe you have a good point. Yes, let's see if we can find any traps in the area.
I mean, for my
So yes,
sake, I just fly right over him. But you got 2 feet on the ground, my friend.
that was a very good point.
Okay, would you like to would you like to break off a sapling and use it as a 10-foot pole? Something along those lines?
Yeah, I'll
Or
break
throw
down like a.
rocks?
I'll grab like a big branch and just kind of like, as I'm proceeding forward, just kind of like tap the ground every few like inches just to see if there's a trap. You know, a few inches from where I'm walking. in
I'm
case
not
there's
Good
gonna-
a-
deal.
I'm not gonna actually do this, but it would be very Mr. Stinky to like instead of throwing rocks, he's just like, I got all these bottle caps I ain't doing nothing with. I should just throw them ahead of us.
No.
So you slowly work your way down the culvert, swishing the tree up and down, and you eventually make it to the other side, and I will make this a difficulty 1. Perception and explosives check.
Okay. And we basically, on at least one of the die, we have to hit below that combined total we have for this,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. I'll also allow lockpick if that's better.
Oh, that is a little better for me.
Lockpick is not good for me. Explosives is also not good for me.
So you can let Mr. Stinky pass to do the final check there if you like.
Just for the distance. It's okay, Mr. Sticky. If you would get exploded, I will repair you.
Shoot, you're a good friend.
Yes.
I rolled a 1 and a 6. I needed to get lower than a 9.
Heck yeah.
Oh.
So 1 is a critical hit, so that's 3 successes.
Ooh.
So and you only needed 1, so you got 2 above it. So you can either use that 2 to do what's called create an advantage. So in this case, I would say like rearm the trap or take the explosive with you. Or you take that 2 and dump it back into your action point pile, so you go from 1 to 3. And on
Dean,
a
what do you think we should do?
Because it's long term, I think it'd be best to go ahead and add it to our pool, our action point pool. And Jeff, since we both did a 0, we both had a 0. I'm forgetting the term, but basically the roll, nothing, but still rolled to build momentum. We would
Mhm.
that would actually bring us up to 4, because we each did 1.
Oh, but you only got 1 and he only got 0 successes. That's how that's counted.
Okay.
So now
And
you're up.
then-
I'll
gonna
put
go
it
up to
in the
3.
pool. Yeah.
And would one of you guys mind keeping track of that in case I forget?
I'm on it.
Thanks, Dean.
Dean's got it.
All right. So yeah, you find the tripwire, and luckily it's low enough that Nigel can, or Thrag can
Right.
crawl over it without tripping it.
Good. Thank you for your help, Mr. Stinky. Excuse me, Mr. Stinky. Truly, I believe the grenades would be harmful even to my more stout exterior.
You are squishy.
Indeed. I'm
It's
not
all
made
that
of.
flesh you got on you.
Yes, well, not all of us have the advantage of metal, unfortunately. Yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so the culvert goes into like a gully about 6 feet on a side and continues on. So you can either stay at the bottom of the creek or go up over the side, or something else if you have a better idea.
I think we should stay low, just to avoid detection.
Okay, so the mutant is like hunkered down.
Yeah, the floating robot.
Oh, my back.
Yeah, if somebody were to come upon this scene, they would just see like one of my eye stalks like kind of sticking up to like
Yeah.
look over the edge.
Nice. And Nigel's knees are like killing him. He's like, oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
200 years, just the awful to one's knees.
Okay, so looking over the top, Mr. Stanky, or Stinky, you see a big flat plain, and shock beyond shock, about 20 feet ahead is just a rippling wheat field.
Oh my.
And you hear like the chirping of crickets and I don't know, it's not the time for frogs, but you hear bugs buzzing, like it's a much more active just than it was outside the fence, like wildlife like.
There's some critters up there.
Yes, the land should be mostly barren. The most they should be growing is like, why am I forgetting the name of the in-lore item? They should be like growing like mud fruits, but this looks like wheat.
Yeah.
And you had heard that the Yakima Protection Zone was trading away grain, but like you didn't know the exact amounts. Like, yeah, you have no idea how good they're doing or how much trade they're doing.
It's peculiar. I don't have a Geiger counter on me, but the land looks mostly unmutated and possibly low radiated. This is peculiar.
Yeah.
Mud fruit or
Mud fruit?
It's the tomato. I'm forgetting the name of the tomato for some reason.
The tobacco from The Simpsons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, as I want to say, a Mr. Stinky would have a radiation sensor because you're down underground working on pipes and things.
All right. So can I use that?
Yes, and sure enough, the radiation level is like 20% lower than the surrounding countryside, at least the areas you've visited.
Breathe in that air, Thrag. It's Thrag? What is, how do you pronounce it?
Mr. Stink, we've been around for a while now. It's Thrag with an A.
It's odd because he's British, and you would think he'd say Throg, but he's not from that part of Britain.
I have been in America for over 200 years now. I've adapted a bit to the language, okay?
Thrag, breathe in that air. It's unirradiated.
Look, I sometimes say Z instead of Z, all right? That's just how language works for you.
I get it.
It's doubly odd, too, because you're closer to the Hanford Nuclear Reservation, which is where lots of super mutants have moved. It's maybe 100 miles southeast of here, down Big River.
The lack of radiation there is peculiar, especially since this area has been bombed out of character. I don't know if you're doing that. I'm just kind of saying that. Canonically, not every place has been bombed. It's just a lot of places were bombed. So,
Hanford would have been blown off the map. Nuclear waste spreading everywhere.
With the fallout still being around, we should have at least this area should have at least the same background radiation as the rest. But if your internal counters say otherwise, that is rather peculiar.
Yeah, I'll say. You want to try and make our way through the wheat field?
Yeah, all right. Let's do it.
All right. I'm going to sneakily hover over to the wheat field.
Yeah, so once the irrigation PVC pipes like start to enter the picture, the culvert like gets smaller, so you're gonna have to get out. So you get out like on the edge of the wheat field, and you can skirt between two rows if you want along the path of the creek, or you could go deeper in. And as soon as you're up top, you see those like. They're like gantries with sprinklers, and they run on wheels. And you see a big mech robot like moving it on one side. And you see there's more of them sort of off in different directions. So they've got mostly automated farming, it looks like.
Yeah. All right.
They seem to have deployed automatons for their agricultural needs. Mr. Handy, I didn't check your specs.
Mr. Stinky.
Excuse me, Mr. Stinky. When I procured you, I didn't check over your specs. Do you have agricultural capabilities?
Well, shit, I don't know. Let me see. And then I use my buzzsaw and I just cut down some wheat in front of me.
Hell yeah. Okay.
I believe that's an apt way of using that. Yes.
So a bunch of stalks of wheat come down, chaff goes up in the air, and you put out your little soil detector and get some of the grain, and you start scanning it. Give me a difficulty 2. Or no, this will be a difficulty 0.
Okay.
Science and intelligence.
Okay. Science and intelligence. Okay. Let's see. I got a 2 and a 19. I need to be below a 9.
Okay, and
Okay.
are there tag skills? Is science one of them?
Yes, it is.
Cool. So that 2 is actually what's called a bigger success.
Okay.
A critical hit. So you actually got 2 successes from that one roll. So let's see here. So you get 2 more, so you're up to 5 AP. And so I'll tell you what you learn. You could also spend AP to learn more. But basically what you learn is the radiation is lower than any grain you've come across. And it's been gene modded to be resistant to the newer pests and bacteria and things. More up to date.
This is some GMO shit right here.
Oh no, there might be somebody on YouTube who is going to go around scaring people not to use it.
More for me. I'm just kidding. I don't eat. I'm a robot.
Well, yeah, sometimes I have used ethanol for your fuel, but yes.
All of a sudden, a big bug comes out from near the wheat that you cut. It's like a big, bloated, sort of bobbly red fly.
Would you perhaps call it a bloat fly?
Yeah, pretty similar to your average bloat fly, and it moves in on our boy Nigel Hawthorne, aka Thrag.
Oh fuck!
Hemsworth, excuse me.
I'm gonna pull out my trusty baseball bat and I'm gonna swing at it. Does it look peculiar in any way, or is it just like a regular bloat fly, from what I can tell?
It looks healthier than others you've seen.
Is it? I mean, it's coming at me, so better safe than sorry. I'm gonna swing at it with a baseball bat.
Okay, let me get to combat. Is there initiative? Let's see.
It would seem that there is, because I have a box on my sheet that says initiative.
When combat begins, the player who initiated the combat, in this case that's the NPC, takes a turn immediately. Once this is done, the game master ranks the combatants in order of their initiative statistic. Actually, I'm going to say because you saw it, because it had to come out of an open area. So I'm going to say you see it. So who's got the highest initiative?
Mine is 12.
I have a 10.
12. Okay, and bloat flies. Let's see if they're in here. Find bloat. Bloatfly larva. Those are all just chemistry and food things. Oh, I found the creature. Page
Yay.
340.
The creature.
340, yeah. Okay. Feel free to talk while I look this up.
So I'm thinking, well, first we start blasting, right?
Oh, I already know what I'm about to do, Dean. It's crazy.
Flamethrower?
Yes, a 12 a 12 will win on that.
Also, real quick, hello, Cranage in chat. Thank you for being
Hi,
here.
Cranage.
Greenwich. So,
That's
what do you want
fine.
to do there, Stinky?
I'm gonna use my flamethrower arm attachment.
Ooh. Ooh. So, canonically, Mr. Stinky doesn't think things through sometimes when there's a
Yeah,
crisis?
yeah.
Okay.
This bug just scared him, and he's gonna go kill it with fire.
And then proceeds to kill it with fire.
Do you know how to do that? Let's see. It's an opposed task, so he'll get to dodge.
I mean, I do have a flamer arm attachment, so I'm assuming that I know how to do it.
Yes, and you'll kind of, I assume you know to aim up so it doesn't hit stuff around it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, do you want to spend any action points? You have 5.
Yeah, I'll use one.
Okay.
Okay.
We have 5 action. We have 5
4
action.
now.
points? Okay.
So you have 3 dice.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I had one more d20. Oh well.
All right. So what am I?
So you're gonna try to meet. Is it your body? Is that the skill for fighting? It's a melee.
Was using a flamethrower, right?
Yeah.
Does it say anything in the description?
1 second. I gotta go through the weapon and my Microsoft Edge is being annoying. If you want to base it off the flamer, which is another fire-based weapon, it's based off of big guns, looks like. But hold on.
Oh, so big guns plus perception or agility. No.
Yeah.
Endurance plus big guns.
Let me get back to you on that just because my Microsoft Edge is being a pain in my neck. But big guns goes off of endurance. If you want to do something different, you can, of course, as the GM. But
Does it say on the list of the flamer that it's a small gun? Otherwise,
no,
it'll be endurance.
yeah, it's a big gun base because it's a heavy weapon is what it is.
Okay.
Sorry, my Microsoft Edge is acting out.
Okay, I'm looking
You're
at the Mr. Handy. Yep, it's exactly the same as a flamer.
Okay, so yeah, big guns.
Big gun. So endurance plus perception, you've got 3 dice. So you've just got to get under that number.
Endurance plus perception.
Big guns, excuse me.
So
plus
endurance
big
and big guns. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got to get under a 7 here. That is a 10. That is a 14. That one is a 7. If I matched it, is that okay?
You matched it, yeah. And now you do the damage of a flamer.
right.
Do you have that handy, Dean?
As soon as my thing catches up with me. Yeah, sorry. It's. I wish there was a PDF viewer that wasn't utter and complete bad. It used to be Adobe, but they wanted to charge you to like do anything with the PDF. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Adobe for many reasons.
I'm in the
Especially-
equipment section looking for the stats for this weapon. I think I've found them.
Try
Nope,
and get
those are
back-
small
back to it.
guns.
It's in the same
Small gun
ballpark as that.
mods. Energy weapons. Big guns. Here we go. Flamer, 3 damage rating. 3 plus your big gun skill is how many dice you get.
Then I just get 3.
Okay. You really got to pick up the big gun skill.
I do, yeah. It would seem that way. I didn't really know when I was making the character. So am I just rolling 3d20 then, or is it
3d6.
Got it. Okay.
And Dean
Yeah,
put a thing in show talk that shows you how much damage they'll do.
Yeah,
Okay.
just tell me what you roll per die, and I'll just tell you what happened. Is that
All right. I got a 3.
okay? That's nothing.
I got a 5.
That's a Vault Boy, which is 1 damage and an effect.
All right, and I got a 2.
And that is 2 damage, so 3 damage and an effect.
Cool.
3 damage and an effect. Let me make sure this doesn't just outright kill the thing.
The effect is dead.
Let's see. Hit points 6. So you'll need that effect. Let's see what effect a flamer has.
I'm trying to pull it up, but it keeps taking forever.
It's a huge armor section.
Like a big guns. Type 4 range. Damage effects. Burst, persistent, spread.
Okay, so persistence would set it on fire. Burst would set all the weed on fire. And spread, do we know what spread is?
Not off the top of my head. 1 second.
Spread. For each effect rolled, your attack inflicts 1 additional hit on the target. Each additional hit inflicts half the rolled damage. So did we say that was 3?
Yeah.
So it'd do 1 extra. And hits a random location.
Okay.
I'd like to not have this wheat field on fire.
Okay, so call it a spread. So it does 4 damage, so it's got 2 left. Dean. Oh,
Yep.
so we'll say a puff of fire goes up and luckily doesn't hit any of the weed around it.
All right.
Oh my, that was close. Thank you, Mr. Stanky, for removing the bloatfly.
Oh, it's not dead yet.
It's got 2 health left.
Oh, my bad.
What do you want to do to it, Dean?
I'm gonna hit it with my bat.
Hell yeah. Swing that mother.
Okay, so I have a strength of 8 and a melee of, I just saw it. There you go, of 3, so I have to get under an 11.
Okay.
It's okay with you, Az, because I'm rolling bad for this game. I want to use a momentum die.
Yeah, go for it. I used one.
All right, what am I aiming for, Jeff?
It's a difficulty 1.
Okay.
Oh no, it's an opposed. Sorry. I'm gonna counsel you not to use any of your action points.
All right.
Just because he rolled so well. Just to be nice.
All right, then I will roll then. Okay, I rolled a 9 and an 11, and I had to get an 11, so I got 2 successes.
Okay, so does this game have values? Is that a thing?
If you're talking about like the character values from from like Star Trek, it does not have like that equivalent thereof.
Okay, good deal. So yeah, you miss him. He's darting up and around, swirling all around you, and he goes for your meat because you're pretty meaty. Would you like to use any of your action points to make your defense roll better?
No, I got a pretty high endurance. What am I doing to avoid the damage or minimize the damage?
Wouldn't it be a dodge? Let's see. I'm going to go to combat. Initiative, actions. Action points in combat, major action. Defend. You focus on protecting yourself. You didn't do that. Page 27. Okay, making an attack. I'm going to put this here so I can read it easier. Strength plus melee. What's it versus? Or I guess it's strength plus unarmed. Difficulty is your target's defense. So it's not opposed. It's just whatever your defense is. What have
okay.
you?
So did I hit with my last attack? With the 2 successes?
Surely you would have. Yeah. Okay. There's no way it has more than 2 defense. Let's see. 2 defense. Yep. So roll damage. What's the bat's damage?
Okay. Pulling up now. By the way, I also have the Big Leagues perk, which is when you attack with a 2-handed melee weapon, the weapon gains a vicious damage effect.
Hell yeah.
And then for the baseball bat, I am rolling.
Dean, you may have just muted halfway through that sentence.
So it does 4 damage plus your attack skill.
So what
Melee.
happens is I roll 4 dice, and in this case, we refer to the table. And then each die represents something that happens, and we refer to the table. So like I rolled a 1, 2, 3, and 4. Not even joking.
1, 2, 3, and a 4. So you did 3 damage. Okay, yeah, you hit it. Boom! It explodes. Gore flies all over you. You're just spattered with red-brown goop.
Oh, shit!
You've solved my bloatfly puzzle.
Huzzah!
Important question, Jeff. Is there any, like, nice big chunks of bloatfly meat laying around?
Of course there is.
I'm gonna pick those up and carry them with me.
Good deal.
Mr. Stinky, I know I'm the one who programmed you, but I have to inquire as to why you are carrying bloatfly chunks in your pincers.
I got this great idea.
Oh.
I'm gonna use my flamer arm,
Uh-huh.
fry them up real nice, open a
Okay.
little restaurant.
All right, Stinky, roll endurance plus survival with a difficulty of 0.
Dragi's just gonna look around in this field of wheat. It's like, could you start a bakery with the abundance of wheat around us?
I needed to beat an 8, and I rolled a 4 and a 10.
Hell yeah. Yeah, 1 difficulty. So you get 1 extra action point. Last I checked, you were at 5. Is that right?
We were. I used one
Okay.
during my turn, so we were at 4.
So you're back up to 5. So you have 1 portion of bloatfly meat and 1 bloatfly gland.
Okay.
I suppose I could pay you caps to eat that for supper.
I'll cook it up real nice for you.
I appreciate that. I suppose that's supper for tonight.
Bloatfly fritter.
I really need to look over your CPU sometime to make sure you're not having a malfunction.
Okay, so
I'm
it's the
just having
golden hour.
ideas.
It's the golden hour, and there's just nice light coming in from the west on you guys. You look incredible as you skulk your way through the wheat field.
All right, we need
towards
to
the
be very
warehouse.
stealthy. We need to be very stealthy. A floating robot and a 9-foot-tall man needs to be very stealthy as we move through these wheat fields.
I can float a little lower.
There you go. And I could hunch down slightly lower. Just hope the green doesn't contrast with the yellow of the wheat.
I mean, the sun is shining off my dome piece pretty good right now.
The sun is beautiful, yes.
So because you don't make a lot of noise and you can float, I'm not going to make you roll but our super mutant's going to need a 2-die stealth check. Is there a stealth skill?
There is, yeah. It's sneak.
Sneak plus what's
Sneak
the
plus
stat?
agility. Uh, unless you change it to sneak plus agility at base, and I have an agility at 5 and nothing in sneak, so
That's not great.
no,
Uh-oh.
I'm not a night kid. Night kids, by the way, are super mutants that are the stealthier versions of super mutants.
Gotcha.
Well, I hope that difficulty was a 1 because that's exactly what I got. I got a 3 and a 10, and I have a 5 to agility. So my
I
threshold
forgot to
anyway is
ask
a
if you
5.
wanted to spend any AP, but I'll let you now if you want.
Yeah, let's use 1 AP because like what am I trying to get, by the way? Because my threshold is a 5 on this particular you know
Um,
roll.
it's opposed to whoever's scanning the area. So right now it'll be 1 difficulty to find you. It'll go
Okay.
up if, like, I might have cameras that have a set. They see you on a 1 or a 2.
I rolled a 17 for the third dice, so don't
Okay.
even worry about. Of course, hey, look, getting a 1 as a 9-foot tall green skinned man is already pretty impressive. So
That's awesome. Yeah, we take those.
exactly.
And as I'm gonna need a difficulty 1 spot. What is there a skill for seeing?
Perception?
There's not a
Yeah.
skill for it.
Is it what's it in regards to? You don't have to tell me, but if you want to associate it with a skill, it's it could be skill based, like perception and survival to see a mutated dog coming at you or something like that.
Yeah, I'll call it perception and survival, or sneak
Okay.
if you have either of those.
I got 1 in survival, so I gotta beat
Cool.
a 7 here. And how I'm rolling 2 dice, right?
Unless you want to roll
Okay,
more,
I'll
but
do
yeah,
2.
it's only difficulty 1.
All right. It's a 14 and a 12. I didn't do it.
Okay, cool. So you're just blithely going along, super movement, bumping into stalks of wheat every few
Yeah.
feet. And
Every time I bump into one, I go, oh, oops.
so you come out of the wheat and you see a vast field of what looks like pumpkins. There's some big ones, some small ones. If you want to go through that, you're going to have to crawl along the ground. And that goes for another few hundred feet to the compound itself. So there's like a few buildings and what looks like a junkyard.
Just imagining like a 9-foot tall green man trying to hide in a pumpkin patch, like army crawling through it. Like, you don't notice me. Don't pay attention to me. Yeah, I'll get down so
Okay.
people don't notice.
I'm using one of my threat to detect you. Okay. Oh, and you can't hide at all, Mr. Handy.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I'm just gonna float over it.
Okay. You don't see anybody in this area, but you can zoom and you see like a few pockets of workers on farm plots farther east, like north and south of the compound and beyond. Just like off in the distance, people in like flannel shirts, like bags and shovels and stuff. There's no more than 3 in any group, but there's
Okay.
none right around here. So you're just floating through the pumpkin patch while he jungle
Yeah.
crawls. Are you next to each other? Are you putting some distance?
I think that I'll go first so that if any attention is garnered, it comes to me and not to the super mutant.
Sounds
Also,
good. Yeah.
accent aside, you could pretend to be like an automaton working there or something.
Exactly. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
I have this idea in my head if I'm spotted that I'm really excited to try.
Hell yeah. So you're almost to the main compound area, and you see one of the people off to the north sees you and starts running sort of cross, like from north to east, like to put a building between you and him, and who knows what after that. It's maybe
Okay.
300 feet to the north.
Oh man, I was really expecting this guy to like run at me. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna okay. With my pincer arm attachment, I am going to pick up just the smallest little gourd that is around me
Mhm.
and proceed towards the building that the guy ran behind.
Oh, it's the warehouse that you're headed to,
Okay.
the one
so
next to the junkyard.
I'm going to proceed towards the warehouse with a gourd in my hand.
Good. Cool. So you're headed that way. Do you notice that guy run? Do you want to keep crawling or just mob through the field?
I'm gonna go from already crawling to like hunched over, moving quickly as I can, sort of situation.
Okay. Just kind of, it's getting a
yeah.
little darker. You're not quite as noticeable. And you see the other two that were in that group of pickers also, like, they just look at you and they just go off to the north as fast as they possibly can.
Wait. But can I have a chance to do something before they run? Like, can I notice that they have seen me or something?
Sure, they notice probably your guy behind you. If you look back,
Oh, shit.
they see
Okay.
your super mutant friend, and they
Fuck.
turn to run. Now with the guy, he goes behind the building. Do you want to go the same direction he goes, or go around the far side?
I want to. It's my idea here is that I'm going to attempt to make him believe that I'm a really stupid automaton, and I've just picked a gourd and I am delivering it to him.
Oh, okay. So you scoot around the back corner,
Yeah.
and he's like running to. There's like up against the back of the building. There's like a phone booth,
Yeah.
and he's in there like holding it up to his ear, and he's like pushing a button.
Hey,
but he
fellas,
doesn't-
don't worry, I got one. See?
He's like, what are you doing? And he's a ghoul, and he looks a little like dim-witted, but not feral. And he's
Cool.
like, what do I want with a gourd?
I don't know. I'm just under orders to pick gourds.
You're awfully shiny for an agrobot. And he starts walking towards you, just leaves
I'm-
the phone dangling.
I'm brand spanking new.
No
You could sit-
shit. I knew they was doing well, but never would have guessed they'd get new robots. Look
Yeah.
at you. That's beautiful. What is that, a flamer?
Oh, you know it, partner.
Oh, that's going to be good when we got to let one of these fields go fallow. Just light it up.
That's what I was designed for.
I guess you could say he is gorgeous.
Gorgeous. So what do you want me to do with this thing, partner?
I don't know. I'm not on gourd duty. That one's not even ripe.
It's my first day.
Okay, well, I guess you could drop that down the scanning chute and they'll see how much longer it'll take or something. I'm not in the aggro side. I'm still just a picker.
Oh, I see. Well, you'll make your way. Don't you worry, partner.
All right. Oh, I better hang that phone up. And he turns around.
Oh yeah, you better.
Okay. He walks over
That's
and hangs it up.
All right,
Got it.
cool. I'm gonna pretend to fuck around with the gourd. Does he walk away?
Yeah, sure.
All right,
He
cool.
heads back.
I'm gonna.
And
cut
he's
the
like
phone
looking
cord.
around for his crew. He's like, what the hell's going on?
I'm gonna cut the phone cord.
Nice. So he's heading back up there to find his people, and you're like,
Excuse me.
The whole thing is off.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. The alarm light above the phone didn't go off, so you think you're okay.
Excellent.
Thrag, you arrive at the main office door into the warehouse. You see there's like a truck loading door at the far end that's like slightly ajar, but this is the person entrance.
I'm gonna like peek in. Where's the majority of the attention going towards, as far as like regular people doing whatever they're supposed to do right now? Are they looking basically like, towards where I'm at, or
The pickers are all off in the distance and there's stuff in the way, so you don't think anyone sees you right now.
oh,
Those
pardon me,
two guys definitely did, but you don't see any people around.
All right, I'm gonna try and like go around the building and enter through the service entry area that you mentioned.
Oh, okay, yeah. You head down there and you peek under, and the lights are off in there, but it's some kind of vehicle storage. Or you see like a cherry picker with a bulldozer attachment about 20 feet south of here, so maybe they park that or other things like it in here.
All right, and I'm gonna try and like proceed inwards to see if I can find any.
You'll have to lift up the door in order to get under it.
Okay.
You see a big green button off to one side.
Could I, in theory, just like lift it up enough for me to crawl under it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna like lift.
It kind of bends and scrapes, but it gets up a couple of more feet and you crawl under. You're coming around the corner right as Stinky. You're coming around the corner right as you see him roll under the door on the far corner.
Okay.
Sorry, didn't mean about my mic.
I will I'll head over to that door.
Okay, right as you get to that door, you see two dogs stand up on top of one of the piles of junk, maybe 30 feet away or whatever, and they look pretty diseased and weird looking, and their eyes are all red, just catching the last of the sunset light in their eyes.
Have they seen us?
He's looking right at you.
Okay. Hey, Thrag.
Yes. Yes.
We're gonna want to close this door, I think.
Mm. Let me see if I could. I need to find a way to get you in, Stanky. Run for the other side.
Can I just like float under it? Can I just like
Yeah.
get low to the ground and go under? Yeah.
Legs go up, you go under.
I'm gonna try and push the door back down.
Sure. Yeah, this will be a difficulty 1 body and melee? Is there a melee skill?
There is a
Yeah.
melee skill.
Yeah,
There's a
melee.
melee skill. So like you want to do like an endurance and melee
Or
is that-
unarmed, actually. Strength and unarmed.
Okay, strength and unarmed. I have a strength of 8 and an unarmed of nothing. So I got to get below an 8.
Could
Do
I
you want to
help?
use an action point? Can you help? Yes. I don't know how assists. Oh, you roll 1 die. If he's successful on any of his, yours will count. So just
Okay.
roll it, and we'll go from there.
All right.
To answer your question, I was not planning to use an action point. I did roll an 11 and a 6. So I got 1 success.
Cool.
I also got a success.
Cool. So you get another AP. You're up to 6.
Sick.
All right. The door goes down. It is quite loud. So if the enemy didn't know something weird was happening, they probably do now. And now you hear the dogs like sniffing real loud outside.
I'm probably barking.
They haven't barked yet. One of them bangs into the door and it shakes real loud.
I do believe our attempted incognito has been compromised, Mr. Stinky.
Hang on a second.
Yes.
Is there like, I know that we just established that we shut the door. Is there like maybe an inch of space at the bottom of it, or is it like fully on the ground?
Yeah, I mean in parts, yeah, because you fucked up the door, so there'll be a
All right.
few parts.
Cool. I am going to push the bloatfly gland under the door
Splooch.
so
It
that
goes
if
out.
anyone comes to investigate the dogs, it looks like they just wanted to eat the little remains of the bloatfly.
Yeah, so now you hear them just going to town on that gland, barking, snapping at each other.
Cool.
Very smart. And in here, it's all like hard rubbish. There's like big piles, and the largest pile of like car parts and harvester gears and things is on the north wall, and it's like just almost like a wall unto itself. And then on the western side of the warehouse is a little office area. It's just white walled 2-story thing, and there's a little brown door going in.
You know, Mr. Stinky, I've been around for 200 years since the bomb has fallen, and in that 200 years, I seem to have found a distinct lack of cleanliness, and I don't mean in a surgery front, just a lack of wanting to sweep the ground. It seems to persist even amongst more civilized areas like this.
I mean, sure as shit. That's why Mr. Handy's got made. 'Cause nobody wants to clean up after themselves.
That's true. That was true in my time too. Let's head for the office and see what we can find.
Shoot, I'll follow you.
And hopefully you'll make any more noise than we have to, something that we have already not done well. Well, mostly
Okay.
me. I meant me. I've not done well.
What are y'all's perception stats?
6.
My 5.
6. Okay. You guys get to the office. You open up the door. It's normal office. There's terminals. There's power going to them. It's pretty tidy. Some of the desks are totally covered with dust, like they haven't been used in centuries. But 2 of them have. And other than that, that's all that's in this area.
Okay.
There's a staircase up to a higher area, maybe a break room or a manager's office or something.
Could I see
That's-
if there's any info on the computer terminals that would, help us find our friends in here?
Yes. So we'll do a research on the computer.
If I may.
Yes.
If you're trying to hack into a computer, it is science-based in this series, and I am a scientist.
Hell yeah. So you
I have
you
a
power
tag
up
in
the
science as well.
Okay, so you both take 2 terminals, and we'll call this an assist. Who's got higher science and intelligence?
My total is 9.
My total's also 9.
Oh, okay, cool. You've been rolling better, so how about I back you up?
Okay, cool.
Good deal.
So, trying to beat a 9.
And this will be a difficulty 0. You'll just get
Okay.
You can spend your AP on intelligence.
Okay.
I mean on info.
I got 1 success. I rolled exactly a 9.
Cool. So Dean can roll 1.
I did not roll a success.
Okay. So I'll tell you the basics, and you can ask an extra question.
Okay.
So this office has been in continuous use for 4 years. There are personnel documents, mostly pickers, and there's like a death list, and it's quite extensive. It's got like a little number for insurance payouts, and they're like 20 caps and 30, like it's pretty low.
Yeah.
And there's a restricted area, so that's where you'd get extra stuff if you want to spend AP. And you don't just have to spend the 1 you just got. You can also spend some of your 6 if you want.
Before I spend another one, with the personnel files, can I find anything on the like warlord that runs this place. Whose name I forgot.
Baroness McCall.
Yes.
You see no one by that name, but
Hmm.
you do find several workers with a M, like first initial, and then two with like the last letters are AL, Vidal, and Ball.
Okay. Well, I didn't find anything on the Baroness in here or nothing like that.
And let me ask, because my brain went somewhere. I was looking at something for the kit mechanics. Did we use that extra momentum that we built up to, or the AP skimming to get more information?
I haven't made that decision yet.
Yeah.
Okay. Might be a good idea, because even if we're not getting anything for the Baroness, we might try and figure out what's going on here with the whole abundant farm in the middle of a nuclear wasteland situation.
Yeah. Then yeah, I will use one and I'll roll another die.
Oh, you don't have to roll another die. This is called collect
Yeah.
information or gather information. You spend an AP and you get an answer, basically.
Got it. Then yeah, let's get an answer.
Think of
What would
AP,
you like to ask?
What do you think is more important for us to know, Dean? Info about the Baroness or where the people we're looking for
are? Probably, I would say where the people are, because that is, at least as it seemed to be described as our primary objective. The secondary objective is figure out how like this place is successful.
Okay.
So where are your people?
Yeah.
You find a map.
Presumed it as.
Thank you. I muted just in time.
Oh, you find a map. So, and it's a couple floors. It's the compound that you recognize from the surface, and then a lower map, which isn't. It's not. It has no name. It just says sub-level, and it's got like. How do I put it? It's sort of a big open area with a sort of control room with a window next to it, and then a big, what might be an elevator or a drop shaft, silo, something like that. And it's got a list of employee assignments, and on first floor there are 15, and then for the sub level it says 30. So maybe they're in the sub level.
All right.
Unless they're one of these farming groups.
I feel the dark machinations might be at work here. Let us head for this sub level to see if we may be able to find our men. But
I totally forgot to tell you, one of them is a super mutant and one of them's a ghoul.
Okay.
It's Jan is the super mutant, and Harold Halfhead is the ghoul.
I space. What's in regards to the mutant?
These are the two that went missing. The two he sent before
okay.
you.
And they seem to employ a diverse group of individuals here. I don't know many super mutants who do manual labor.
Yeah. I mean, it may not be their choice, if you get my drift.
That was a very good point. In my day, we called them interns.
That's funny right there. I don't care who you are. That's funny.
Would you like to spend any more AP, get any more answers?
I'm good, I think. As long as we know where these fucking people are.
Good deal. Oh, and I'll give you this one for free. If you put the two maps on top of each other, it looks like there's an entry to a lower section here in the warehouse on the north wall, presumably behind that wall of junk.
Okay.
If there's another entryway to the lower level, you don't see it on the map.
Alrighty. Before we go in there, is there anything like of interest in the junk pile?
Sure. This will be another. This will be a difficulty one. It's science and perception.
All right, so that is
Could
once
I
again a
make-
9.
Oh, it could be
Can I-
repair too.
Yeah, I was like, can I make a game for or make a thing for repair as an engineer?
I liked it better when it was science, but
It's either one, whatever you're better at.
all right, so science then. So perception and science, I gotta get below a 9.
I got a 12
Alright.
or a 2 and a 15. So what's this?
I got a 4 and a 14.
Okay, so that's what's your science stat as?
My science stat is 3,
Okay, so
and
not
it's
4.
tagged.
It
Mine's
is
also
tagged, but it's not 4. Yours, what was your lowest roll? Dean?
My lowest roll was a 2, and science repair is tagged for me.
Gotcha. So you get 2 successes and Az gets 1. Is that right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay. So 3 successes, you only needed 1, so you get 2 extra. So you could create an advantage, find some special item, or ask questions. It's up to you. You're full up at 6, so either way is fine. But yeah, you come up with, I don't know, some loose ammo, a busted prosthetic hand for a Mr. Handy robot. So it's like a more manipulative pincer, but it doesn't look to be working.
Look, Mr.
I like
Stinky,
the
if
idea of having a hand.
Look, Mr. Stinky, I can give you 3 fingers instead of 2 for your pincer.
Well, that sounds lovely.
Yes, no, I'm just gonna add to my apparent severed hand collection that I have. 1 second.
So put damaged robot hand in your inventory. And with those 2 extras, do you want to create an advantage?
Yeah, let's create an advantage in case we need to leave very quickly.
Oh, like you make a pull thing that'll bring everything down.
Yeah. Let's say like I have arranged a bit of the side on the pile of rubbish that if I need to leave suddenly, I can just like keystone pull out one piece and it'll all fall to one side.
Cool, yeah. So you slide in there and you see that the best way to do it, it'll put it all in front of this. It's like a ramp down into a doorway area. So it'll just fill that whole area with junk.
Yeah, basically helping us cover our escape out of here as quickly as, or at least stop it, slowing them down long enough for us to escape.
All right,
Yeah.
you ready to go in?
Let's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Do you two have a hard out, or should we go longer?
I mean, I'm good
I'm
for the
good.
like. Yeah, I did get say if it takes like a 3 to 5 minute break, because I do have to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
But if
Let's
it's okay
do
with
it.
you, I'll take a quick break. We'll be right
Okay.
back,
Let's
everyone.
do it. Yeah.
Everyone's screen jumped. On my
Hey,
screen.
y'all. Okay, you ready to head down that ramp?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
All right, you tromp down the ramp, and it's a big old. If you ever seen Fallout, it's this huge, like 15-foot diameter sort of entryway, and it's partially open. It's like a big circular gear kind of door that's like 2 feet thick or something, and it circles off into a recession on one side. And on the right, there's a big sort of like plaque / billboard with a Fallout Boy giving the thumbs up. And next to it says, "Welcome to Vault 69."
Haha.
And
nice.
somebody has painted in a reddish brown paint, sort of sloppily. It says "nice" under it.
Nice.
What did you see? Just
Seeing
see
in there,
Thrag.
there's dim light into the vault. It goes about 50 feet, and you see on either side of a narrow walkway or like machines or whatever. And off to the right, there's some kind of control room, and the walkway goes to where you have to go across the bridge, I guess, to get over to that control room, and then also what looks like an elevator behind, straight across the bridge, and standing in front of it, sort of minding his own business, is a ghoul leaned up against the side of the elevator, like with his head tilted down, possibly resting or maybe playing possum. It's hard to say.
Do we think he has noticed us? Also, nice.
Nice indeed. I don't know. But should we attempt to sneak by him?
Yes. I gotta don my lab coat to blend in with the white backgrounds.
Do you have a
And
giant lab coat?
Actually, it came with my background when I got the tag skill for science. It came with, so I got a lab coat. So there's
Hell yeah.
apparently a big ass lab coat that I've had. I was
Like,
like,
put that on. You think that might get you in?
it's gonna do me a lot better than walking around bare chested out in the.
You
Oh,
do
and
notice
this-
he has a badge on a lanyard. So you might need one of those.
Oh,
Can we? Okay. Is there a way? Is there a pickpocket in this game? Can I try and just take that one?
there is
Sure. Pickpocket.
Nobody
Nobody is better suited to do this than you, because he wouldn't hear you coming. 'Cause
Yeah.
You can float. Let's see. It says, I found Master Thief. It says when you're attempting to pick a lock or pickpocket, the difficulty goes down. But I wasn't able to find the actual
It's-
pickpocket skill. Oh, I see it. Perception and agility.
Okay.
Wait, that's not right.
Yeah.
Picking pockets. Here we go. I'm going to pull this so
I
the
believe
viewer
it's under
can
sneak.
see it.
I think it'd fall under sneak and agility as far as what you would roll.
Okay.
Agility plus sneak.
Yeah, it's not great for me, but we'll see.
I know.
My
Now they
die
can't s-
fell on the floor. Oh, but that one was a pass. I needed to beat a 6 and I rolled a 5.
Hell
You
yeah.
can't see me on camera, but I'm thumbs upping, audience.
So you'll need to clip the cable or whatever that's holding the lanyard. You'll need to clip that to take it.
Can I
but,
just between like my two pincers just
and then you slide it around the back of his neck and
Yeah.
you've got it. As you went in, you noticed that the control room is off to the right, and then on the other side, back where your friend is, there's a machine to like extend the bridge front and back, and there's one on this side as well. So you could theoretically pull up the bridge.
I'm not gonna worry about pulling at the bridge because that makes a lot of noise. I'm just
Mhm.
gonna kind of like circumvent. Like if I have to drop down onto the ground, I'm gonna just slowly drop down and then go around because there's always like a little platform or a little staircase that leads to the main platform.
Yeah,
Um,
so I don't know if there's a mechanic for holding an action in this game,
hmm.
but I'll say that you if he woke up or did something crazy, you could do something if you wanted to prep.
Okay. My thing is I'm gonna keep my eye on him so that if he does wake up when I'm trying to like get around, I can drop down and suddenly like get prone so he couldn't see me. I'm gonna like get down low. So if I do see he notices me, I can just go
Oh,
down.
it's impossible for anyone to miss you. Like they're railings, just the bars. Like I
Oh,
mean, you'd be on the bridge. Yeah.
I don't. Okay, I guess I'm gonna
You
get ready
could
to swing my bet.
Spider-Man up onto the ceiling, but no, he'd still see you.
I actually don't have that ability. Uh,
But I was more meaning for Mr. Handy because he's right
uh,
there, or Mr. Stinky rather.
I
You'll prepare a defend action. That's what they call it in this one.
yeah.
What
I'll do
about you,
that.
Mr. Stinky? You want to prep anything?
I think that I'm gonna just continue. Like, if need be, I'm just gonna continue my fucking. I'm new here. Like
Cool.
that act.
Play along.
It seemed to
All
work
right.
the first time.
Well, he hasn't woken up yet. Do you want to wake him up?
No, I feel like that would cause problems
Hey,
Okay.
more than solve them.
The elevator call button is sort of behind his back.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I'll wake him up. Yeah.
Okay. How are you
Hey!
going to do that?
Excuse me.
I'm gonna hide behind the vault door on the other side so he doesn't see me.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it's sort of round. There's you hide
Yeah.
on the side of the elevator. Or wait, actually, you tromping across the bridge would have woken him up too. So you're staying outside the vault
Yeah, like,
altogether.
I've not proceeded yet. So what I'm gonna do is, how the section that's the giant gear, basically, I'm just on the other side of the giant vault door, listening in.
Okay, so he wakes up. Do you want to do anything? He's just
Yeah.
like looking in horror.
You're the security guy around these parts, yeah?
Well, it's a temporary assignment. I don't have clearance for lower levels.
Oh, I don't need any clearance for the lower levels. Listen. I'm one of the new Mr. Handy units who's out in the fields. It's my first day today.
Whoa, is that a flame attachment?
It sure is, partner.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you security or is that like an agricultural fire?
It's if a whole field of grain goes bad and we got to get rid of it real fast. That's kind of what I'm built for. I can also mow it down with my little buzzsaw.
Whoa!
I feel like
Can you run it? Can I see it? Can I see it go?
I give him a little like.
Hell
Hey.
yeah, he's loving it.
Hey, can I
He's
say it
walking
like
around you.
I feel like the subtext of your response to him was like, "Hey, shut up."
Yeah. But yeah, I just I listen. My duty's out in the fields. You're temporary security. I just figured you're the kind of guy that I'm looking for right now because those junkyard dogs y'all got up there.
Oh sure, yeah. There's Betsy, Clementine.
Yeah, a couple of them
Looper.
were going wild a few minutes ago.
Outside?
What are all their names in extreme backgrounds?
Yeah, tell us about their temperaments.
Oh no.
Yeah, I saw a couple of them running for the pumpkin patch.
Oh jeez. I should probably call my supervisor, and he starts headed over to the phone.
Oh, shit. Well, I think that there may
He
be
has his
somebody
back to you, if that matters.
You gonna bop him on the head with your saw blade? Like what? What? Oh, I got it
Wait.
wrong, by the way. Apparently, Mr. Handy's, it's it's agility plus energy weapon for using the flip
Okay.
Gotcha.
for Mr. Handy's.
So, all right. Here's what I want to do. What's this guy's name? Did we see it on his lanyard?
Oh, you take a quick look. It's Elbert.
Albert.
Yeah? He looks back over his shoulder.
I'm gonna shoot straight with you, and then I'm gonna float over to be between him and the phone.
Oh, okay.
So he has his back to the door, and I am keeping his focus. Dean, if you're hearing this,
Okay.
Albert, I'm gonna shoot straight with you. I don't think that I'm really cut out to make it as an agricultural guy. I mean, take a look at this buzzsaw. I could do some serious damage. And then I just start running it. So I'm making a ton of noise, and I have his full attention.
Ah, so he might not miss if somebody, say, were to barrel down the bridge.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna try to align with the sounds of the saw. I'm gonna try and take like steps across the bridge.
Okay, I will need a stealth check here. Sneak,
right.
rather. Sneak and agility.
My agility and sneak. Let's see. Well, one was a 20.
That is going to be a complication.
Yep. And my sneak, I have nothing in, so it's based on agility, and my agility is 5, and I rolled a 6. So no successes.
Okay. Now, it's one difficulty harder for him to see you because of the noise and whatnot. So I'm going to say you are successful. It's like 0-0, basically, and the aggressor wins. So you somehow managed to sneak across the bridge, so you're now within like 6 feet of him if you wanted to punch him or whatever.
I'm gonna say that while that was happening, I was also wildly swinging the buzzsaw around. And right as I see that Thrag has made it across, I accidentally cut the phone cord. Oh
Nice.
shoot, that's a real shame. But more to the point, I think that either you or I should handle this, and you're the security guy, so I think it ought to be you.
You think I should go back down and tell him in person?
No, I think you should go out there and take care of these damn intruders.
Deal with the dogs? Well, somebody's going to have to tell Two Fists that I'm going out of my post here. And then he sees through your legs, the super mutant, and he goes, "Who's that?"
Who's? Oh, I'm Mr. Handy.
No, behind you. And he
behind me.
He steps off to one side. So he has now met you. What's your name? Do you want to tell him?
Hello. Well, you see, I guess introductions are in order. My name is.
There he is. There's Two Fist.
I'm Two Fist.
He gives you one of these, like, what the fuck? Quit playing games. He's like, Two Fist is like 4.5 feet tall. Like, is this like a thing super mutants joke about?
I've had a growth spurt. I've had a growth spurt.
Ha. Where's your badge?
I lost it in the field. I am trying to avoid any issues that may pop up from it.
I'm gonna need some kind of deception.
It literally would be speech. Like
speech.
Yeah, charisma and speech. Which charisma of 4 and speech of 3, so 7.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a momentum die if that's okay.
Yep. And it's going to be one difficulty
AP.
harder because you don't have a badge.
Oh, can I make a counterpoint onto why that could work to my favor? What? It's like, what kind of imbecile would simply walk onto a plantation? What Superman would just walk into a plantation, go down an elevator and into a secret vault without knowing about it? That would be absurd.
You know, he's got a point.
All right. I'm going to say I'll allow you to do an assist.
Got
So
it.
it'll be difficulty 2, all of that together.
So I'm also doing speech and charisma, right?
Yeah, and this is the one that has a complication. I never decided what that complication would be. I think he's on edge. Something's going on. That's what I'll call
well,
it.
I did get a success. I had to beat a 9. I rolled a 7.
I rolled a 5, frick. Okay, I rolled a 1 success and 2 not successes.
So 1, and how many did you get as?
1.
So 2.
So 2.
You said it was 2.
Is there any way to spend extra action points?
Was I supposed to roll 2 die? I thought with a help out I only rolled 1.
You're just helping out. I'm just wondering for Dean if he's
Okay.
able to.
I mean, we rolled the threshold. You said it was a 2.
It was 1 higher because of that complication. Something's going wrong. So I'll say you've got him, but the viewer knows that he's like twigged that something hinky is going on, but he's going to play along. So he's like, "Oh, okay. So let me get the book out," and he opens up like this check-in log, and he goes, "Sign your name there, please." To the mutant, not the bot.
Right.
He just assumes
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
part of the team.
Can I? Because it's a logbook, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I quickly see a name on, like, before I do anything? Quickly see a name that looks like it might belong to a super mutant.
Oh, Dean, we looked through the personnel files on the computer earlier.
Yes. So I'll
So I'm
reduce the difficulty. Are you looking for us? Are you looking for Jan's full name? Or are you looking for other super mutants?
Well, one of the names that we got was a super mutant who was reported dead, if memory recalls right.
Yeah, her name is Jan. I don't know if she has a last name.
But yeah, Jan.
She is not. Oh wait, no, that wasn't her name. There is a Jan, but her name, we'll call her Hillary Blaze.
Sounds like the name of a raider.
Yeah, and your ghoul is Agent Harold Halfhead.
Yeah, so he's gonna put down Hillary Blaze.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
All right. He gives it a close look, and he's kind of squinting. He looks down at it and back up at you, and he goes, "All right." And then he flips all the way to the back, and he scans down the list and you see their handy models and other robot models, their numbers. And so you see Mr. Handy's, and he just takes a quick look, and then he closes up the book. Oh no, actually he needs to add you. He's like, "Could you tell me your number? I got to write it in here."
Oh, yeah, sure. Give me 1 second. Hang on. I want to Google something really funny real quick.
What it's like? What's my number? I did assign you one. You're Mr. Stinky. When I activated you, you just said, "Hello, I'm Mr. Stinky." Like, I'm not entirely certain that you were not a mascot for a local laundromat at one point.
Hang on. Letter to number. Stinky. Decrypt.
Alphanumerics.
Fuck, I was trying to like do like a cipher code. Um it wasn't working. Yeah, sure, that
69.
that number you're looking for is, are you ready?
Make sure you listen. This part's important.
It's
Wait, I have it. It's 7844659.
that's the one.
Those are the alphanumeric codes
Yeah.
from a phone. And he goes, all right. And he writes them in. The other numbers are like 7 or 8 numbers, but that's fine. You're an older model, maybe. Except you look brand new. He probably doesn't notice these things.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, well, you know how to use the elevator, so
Oh yeah.
Nope, sure do. Don't mind us. We'll just proceed forward. You have a nice day.
But serious, hey, first of all, sorry about the phone cord there, partner. Second of all, somebody should really check on those dogs up there. If you want, I can go talk to Two Fists, let him know that you're checking it out.
oh yeah, that sounds great. Yeah. I don't know how I would know. Oh, if you don't come back up in 5 minutes, I'll know to go. Does that sound
Yeah.
good? Yeah.
That
okay.
sounds like a great idea.
All right. Safe travels, friends.
Okay, bye.
Thanks, Elbert.
I'm gonna get in the elevator. Come,
Yeah,
Mis-
me too.
come, Mr. Handy.
Oh, I'm right behind you. Hillary.
Mm-hmm. That's me, Hillary Blaze. And then hit the button.
Congratulations on the transition, by the way.
As the doors close, actually, interesting note is that we are genderless species as a whole. Yeah.
Is it because the radiation made your ding-a-ling fall off?
Basically,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
we are far mutated beyond the need. We are all sterile and do not have genitalia.
So this is the elevator chat.
Yes,
That sucks because I'm told that sex is pretty great.
I'm going to have to take your word for it. I didn't have any before the war, so
Virgin.
aren't you? You're a robot. You're a robot.
I got access to the internet. I know.
Okay. Elevator lands. Doors open.
The elevator knew you lied.
And it's just a big sort of gathering room. There's like a concession area and a storage room, and then a long hallway heads north.
Is there anybody around?
Nope.
All right, then I guess we just go down the hallway.
Yeah.
Actually, in true Fallout fashion, is there like a refrigerator that I could open and raid?
Is there a bunch of
Totally, yes.
Is there a bunch of lockers that have stuff in it that shouldn't be there, like jet
Yes.
for whatever reason? Yeah, cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you find
Cool.
some jets, some chems, a couple stim packs,
Oh, nice.
magazines. You could get a 69 jumpsuit if you want. It won't fit, obviously. but-
That's I'll staple it to Mr. Stinky later.
Listen, all I want is I want the 6 and the 9 cut out of it and stitched onto my hat.
I'm literally thinking about putting it on, like, if that was something I could do, I was literally just gonna like put it on the back of your body frame, just like 6.
Yeah. Yeah, like a racing number.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, like Herbie the Love Bug.
Can I
Yeah.
get some hot rod flames?
Yes, well, go. Yes, we can. Do you like?
I want to look
poo?
like Lightning McQueen.
Excellent. Say the line. Say the line.
Ka-chow!
There you go.
So on the handle of the fridge, there's some reddish brown paint that flakes off as you open it
Oh,
up.
sweet.
And inside there's like ancient milk, like some Sunny Delight,
Oh, is there
something
purple
that
stuff?
might have once been a sandwich.
Oh, look, there's some Nuka-Cola, some purple stuff, and Sunny D.
There's a Nuka-Cola. There's what looks like rad roach meat cut up and put into like Tupperware containers.
Someone is
I'm taking the rad roach meat.
Okay, give yourself 3 rad roach steaks.
I'm gonna drink the Nuka-Cola, because why not?
Hell yeah.
Sure.
Add 1 bottle cap to your number. And you are 1 cola drink happier.
Don't judge me. I like Nuka-Cola.
Damn, that shit looks good. I wish I had a mouth.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Okay, so we'll say you head down the hallway, you get to some stairs, you go down, you don't come across anybody until you arrive at what looks like the opening out into a very large sort of common area. And you see down there's like a patch of corn and benches and like trestle tables and a sort of like apple orchard sort of scene backdrop along the far wall. And all around the area are these catwalks, and they stretch off to different parts of the facility.
Jeff, I feel like
Okay.
you've seen the Fallout TV show. This
I
is giving
have,
you...
yes.
Okay, all right. That
Yeah.
explains it. I gotcha.
But apples are big in Eastern Washington, so.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Stinky, they should notice the rumors about Vault 69 is actually, it was in diametric opposite to Vault 68. 69 was 1 man and 99 women, and 68 was 99 women and or 99 men and 1 woman. This is like an agricultural place.
The rumors must not be true.
Strange. The truth is more boring than fiction, I suppose.
Oh well.
Out of character, that there is actually a canonical Vault 69, and that's exactly what it is. It was a Penny
Yeah.
Arcade joke back in the 2000s.
Nice.
Anyway, we need to proceed carefully. Blend in.
Okay.
You don't see a soul anywhere. You don't know if they're all hiding, laying in wait, or what.
Let's head for the overseer's office. I think that might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Two
Your map
fists.
didn't include this area. But you can just kind of head one direction and see. Oh, actually, there'd be like a sign that says Overseer's Office this direction.
Yeah.
So you go to the left. At the far end, it looks like there's a staircase going down, and the red line on the wall heads that direction.
All right. I think we should go and talk to Two Fist.
Okay, so you're walking down. You see like windows into rooms. There's like a cafeteria room and bedrooms and kitchens. And then you see one that's just, you're not sure what's behind the window, but now you realize it's just piled up with corpses, like up against the window.
Oh my god.
You don't know if the entire room is like that or just that window, but yeah, that's disturbing. They look really old though.
Oh my.
That's fucked up.
Yep. What? Oh, let's go forward. By the way, I realized that the gentleman at the main entrance didn't realize I'm wearing a white coat. So that's something we should consider.
Yeah.
Well, he might have noticed, but he didn't say anything.
He also might have not cared. It does happen. All right, let's keep going. What happened here?
Can I make any kind of like perception check into the corpse room?
You'd have to open the door. I mean, just looking through the window, that pretty much all you see are a bunch of clothed corpses.
Then let's open the door. I feel like you wouldn't have mentioned it if it wasn't important.
Yeah.
All right, you open the door and like it looks like there's a narrow aisle through the corpse piles and like some spiders come rushing out. Maybe a moth, but other than that, it's just a corpse storage room and it stinks to high heaven, of course, but you wouldn't know that. Or I guess you have sensors probably.
Yeah.
I feel as though this might be a lot more dangerous than initially observed.
I mean, they certainly do have a lot of corpses.
I know most people don't have a corpse collection to the point where you have a walkway through the corpse collection. So
You were a mad scientist back in the day, and even you didn't have no corpse collection.
no, we had a shoot.
So do you want to walk down the aisle here?
Sure.
Yeah.
You go in and at the far end there's just like a terminal and it's on and it says like inventory add one. Like there's it's like so rudimentary.
They inventory the dead. Oh boy.
Well, that's terrible.
And you see a giant foot sticking out of like the bottom of one stack, and you realize that they must have codes to break out a super mutant from like a human or a ghoul. You see some of each.
Can we get like a death
and the ghouls
count?
and whatnot are on the top generally.
Can we get like a death count, like as of today, death count YTD situation?
Sure, yeah, it's 75 humans, 15 ghouls, 1 super mutant.
This is alarming.
No Mr. Handies though. We stay winning.
Yep, you know what? You got it right, Mr. Stinky. No Mr. Handies were harmed in the making of this death pit. We need to get out of this room.
Okay.
I believe you wanted to go downstairs towards the overseer's office.
Yeah.
Post haste. I've seen many bad things in the last 200 years. Let's not add to the possible trauma. Let's go.
Okay.
All right, you head down the stairs, you go down, turn right, and you're at the overseer's office. The door is slightly ajar, and you hear a little jazz tinkling in the behind, like recorded music.
I'm gonna reach out my my pincer and lightly knock on the door.
You hear a little faint buzzing, and then a pincer reaches around and opens the door, and you see it's a Mr. Handy, but it's been updated. It's got like a blonde wig on top.
Oh my!
And one of its devices is a duster. And it goes, "Hello, sugar."
Well, howdy.
My name is Dinah. D146.
Dinah D146. I have never heard a more beautiful serial number than that, Dinah.
Aw, you just funning with me.
No, stop.
Oh, this robot's floating.
Now, Dinah, tell me, is Mr. Two-Fist in right now?
Well, as far as I know, Ms. Two Fists is here in the facility.
I'm terribly sorry to have assumed. It's my first day here.
Oh, well, welcome to the Super Advanced Science Division of the Yakima Protection Zone.
I gotta ask real quick, was that I can't speak. Was that lull in speaking Jeff or the Mr. Handy? I want to make sure just in case.
My southern accent went away, my whole voice.
No, there's a whole like lull between like
You were,
welcome to the
I think you were pausing to think of the
Right.
name of the place.
right.
Yeah.
I was just making sure if that was you or the character because it is like I want to make sure I'm not misreading like the equivalent thereof of body language.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she said all that in her normal voice, but then
Okay.
you hear this weird recording and it says, "Thank you for working for such an effective team." And it was like a lady voice.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, I'm sorry. Do you know the whereabouts of Ms. Two Fist?
She should be on the lower level, just below this one, in her office across from the secret door. And her arms go up like all excitedly.
Oh, yippee! I do the
Huzzah.
same.
Like with
It-
limited room, just yeah.
It's adorable.
Yeah. Miss Dinah, I must say, I am quite taken with you.
Aww.
What are you
Well-
doing after your shift?
The robots are flirting.
I have no downtime as of yet, but I could probably request some if somebody was to invite me somewheres.
Listen, you, me, the junkyard scrap heap. What do
That
you say?
sounds divine. When and what time?
Let's say 2 Tuesdays from now at 6:15 p.m.
Well, that'd be perfect. I'm not scheduled for anything for 42 minutes.
Oh, perfect.
It's like destiny.
This is this is very quickly become one of my top moments on this show. Is 2 robots setting up a date for 2 weeks from now.
Add that to the highlight reel one of these days of just like
Yeah. Oh, Tess is gonna be sad she missed this. Oh man. Well, Miss Dinah, I will definitely see you for our date, but I got some business to take care of with old Two Fists. So, the security guy upstairs. There was a little rumble outside we had to take care of. We just gotta let her know that, you know,
I hope nobody was hurt.
doesn't seem like it. The dogs just went a little crazy.
Oh, you want me to check the cameras? I'm here in the overseer's office.
You know what? Why don't I check the cameras?
Great, come on in.
Oh,
I
well,
assume
thank
you're
you.
cleared for it.
Oh, absolutely.
why wouldn't they be if they weren't here?
You pass through a sensor and it picks up your badge so you can safely enter the overseer's office.
Thank God. Okay, cool.
And I guess that's where we'll start next time.
All right.
Sounds good.
We see the cameras and there's a shot of the gym and the big kitchen downstairs, Two Fists office. Everything is empty. And
The
then
secret
behind the fancy apple orchard backdrop is the big door. And it's closed. And there's a little camera above it. And
All right.
yeah.
All right.
I'm
It's
enjoying
not
the
that
fuck out of this game
cliffhangery,
so
so
far.
if y'all want to cap it, feel free.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Oh,
Jeff?
I don't really have anything for a cliffhanger, so if you guys want to like have the last word, feel free.
Go ahead, Az. I got a little thing I'll say at the end. But yeah, I'm gonna give you the opportunity to basically do the same.
Wow, Miss Dinah, you sure can see everything from in here. I love a woman who knows where to look.
Is it weird that she's called Two Fists because that implies she had previously 3 or more fists? Like, like we all know that most humanoids have 2 fists.
Maybe it's an ironic name. Maybe she's only got one.
Oh, I see. I see. Like when you call big man tiny. That's a
Yeah.
good point. Yes.
Or when you
Uh,
call a perfectly clean robot Mr. Stinky.
Yes.
Just an example.
I mean, I did not name you that. You named you that. I'm still not convinced that I got you out of a washing machine by accident.
Touche.
So the camera goes diagonally down past the big doors, whoosh, down this dark hallway. Red light is flashing, and into a security office, and we just see two withered old fists shaking
Damn.
into camera.
That could be a problem for next week.
Oh boy.
All right, likes and wishes. Who's got a like?
Oh, I liked this whole session. This was really fun, especially
Yeah.
having just played Fallout for the first time.
It's been pretty fun. It felt a good chunk like the show, because I just finished watching it myself recently.
So good.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a good time. Good time to be had by all.
Good
Yeah.
deal. Trying to
Alright.
think if I had any notes.
Also unrelated, I like your shirt.
Oh, thank you. The Oxford Comma Preservation Society.
There you go. Is that actually a thing, or did you just like the T-shirt?
Yeah, I just looked for Oxford Comma and the art that I liked and
Okay.
the style of the shirt.
Oh, also, to satisfy Krenich in chat, beep boop.
For people who can't see it on like YouTube, Cronage in chat had said, "I expected more beep boop as," and then the last thing they said was just now, "I'm an editor, so I love that shirt and thank you as."
Hell yeah.
So the Oxford Comma Preservation shirt is a hit amongst our audience.
That's fantastic.
Did you have anything you want to set up there, Jeff? Since you were looking at your notes.
Oh, I was trying to see if I took note of any good activity. I did like the gourd interaction with the
Thank
ghoul.
Yeah.
So I am
It was
going
gonna go one of two ways. Like there was a moment in there where I was really prepared to be like, I'm the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Hell yeah. So I'm going to give you a yeehaw for that.
Oh, sweet.
And that might come up next time.
Oh,
I
I'll
didn't
say
know
you
this
can
game
trade
had
that in
yeehaws.
for 2 extra dice.
Sweet.
okay. I close my character sheet. 1 second. So at the beginning of next session, we go back to 2 AP, right?
I don't know. Is that what it says? 2 per person?
It's 2. Well, AP is, if memory recalls right, it's a party resource. We'll look it up later. I'll add a note. I'll add a note here.
AP.
So we should have 6 AP, unless it resets, kind of like it did in Star Trek Adventures, where when the scene shifted or it was the next session, the momentum would change.
Okay. I'm just going to keep it at 6, I think.
All right. There we go.
Dice pool. Here it is.
Yeah.
Let me zoom in on this.
So while you're doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and do a bit of weeding the chaff to be appropriate. I want to start by thanking Taryn for the follow. I said it earlier, but we appreciate any new followers. Thank you, Jen, for the follow. Shout out to them. I'll do that here in a second. If you like what you see here, you can follow us on our. I can't speak. Sorry. If you like what you see here, you can follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Omniversal Escapades. But if you can't make it to our regular every other week Sunday showing, you can, of course, check out the episodes when they post on our YouTube at Omniversal Escapades. If you want to stay up to date, follow us on Twitter at Omniversal ESC. We're also on Instagram and on TikTok. I don't post a whole lot on there. I need to be better at it. But yeah, and if you like what you see here, please follow, like, subscribe, hit the smash button, blah, 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 blah. You know the whole deal. see here. I'm gonna go ahead and get Evan an opportunity to plug anything they might be working on. So first off, as I think I did Jeff first last week.
Before you
Well-
do you have any wishes, things you want your character to get into next time?
I think I want to figure out what happened to the Room of Corpses.
Yeah.
Corpse answers.
And I want to
Corpse
see,
answers.
and I am in love with this robot woman. And listen, if I survive, I want the ending scene for me to be our date together.
Yes, I love it. Romance.
All right.
All right, how do we find you?
I'm at Cal's Calzones, basically everywhere. I'm on the Scavengers Network as well with 2 podcasts on there. It Jams for Thee and the Biodex Cast. I'm also on YouTube at the Scavengers Network and at Cal's Calzones. Check it out.
All right, I'm on everything at El Jefe Tacoma. I host Shattered Worlds RPG. It's a space opera, science fiction, fantasy deal. And that's been going on for a long time. We're in season 6. And we also have a D&D side quest for patrons. So, yeah, check it out. And I think that's everything I'm up to. Yeah.
All right. If you want to follow me, why? But if you do, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GeekisDean. Those are basically the only social media I'm on right now. Without getting too into it, I'm probably not going to be on much in the next few days for my mental health. So don't expect a whole lot of posts, just to give you a heads up.
Yeah.
Not anything isn't necessary for something like this. Also, real quick, I want to say, because everyone's saying it in the chat, thank you and good night to Krenage, XB, Mad King, and JJ. Thank you, everyone, for being there. Appreciate everyone for being here. But yeah, if you want to follow me, you can follow me at KeekisDean on most platforms. I'm going to be a bit radio silent for my mental health for the next few days, so don't expect a whole lot right now. And to reiterate once again, if you like what you see here, follow us on Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter, or wherever we have a platform. Find the link into our mini profiles below. I want to thank our I forget the proper term that they call you in this game, but I want to say the overseer. I want to thank our overseer Jeff today for running the campaign.
Yeah.
Thank you, Az, for playing Mr. Stanky.
Thank you, Dean.
Well,
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Dean.
And if any British person listened to this and was offended by my accent, I apologize.
Here's looking at you, Phoenix.
Yeah, here's looking at you,
Oh,
Phoenix.
shit.
I mean, one time in a stream, he did presume that Jen, who is in our chat, his brother is also Canadian, and it was just like, yeah,
That was a
Phoenix.
good. That was a
Yeah.
good moment.
Not to give him too much crap. Anyway, appreciate everyone for being here. It's you all have a good week. We'll be back and continuing this on July the 28th, presuming life doesn't happen. And then in August, sometime we should be returning to the normal Wayward Vagabonds once again, unless something happens. Y'all, we do this for the fun of it, so we don't always have the availability when life happens. So
Yeah.
let's go ahead and call it here. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Keep on wandering.
Keep on wandering.